Hello, this should be live. Hopefully, it will say some people have joined. There's one. Hey, I can wave. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up or a little yes, you can hear me, just so I can make sure everything's working. Hey, hey. Oh, yay, all the cool people. Wave, 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 wave. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. Hey, Medusa. Ria, my dear friend and colleague, is going to be joining. I'm starting a new series today called Sex Positive Superheroes. I'm going to be in Australia for several months now, and I'm not doing many workshops, not doing many sessions. So I just want to spend the next few months highlighting a bunch of the amazing people that I have worked with. Some people who I've done co-creations with, and some people who I've trained, and some, yes, really amazing people in the industry, some people who I've trained with and learned from. So I just want to help bring their skills and their ideas and their concepts out into the world. I am really hoping Ria is going to join any second now. Ria, oh, there you are.
I'm
Are you there, Ria? I
here,
can't see you.
Shoni. Yes, I'm here.
Ria, I can see your name there, but I can't see your face.
Oh, um,
Can you see Ria's
can
face?
anybody else see my face? I can see my face.
Is it nice?
I bloody hope so.
Yeah, it's bloody early there, isn't it?
It is
Someone
very
tells me you
early
can see
here.
Ria's face.
Yeah.
I would have thought I could see both of
Yeah.
us. Let me see if it's a magic button.
Okay, Natalie says yes.
Oh, good. It's weird that I can't. Um,
Don't
because
be
I'd love to
sad
see you
about
as I'm
it.
talking to you. I'm sad
Um,
because your
I
face is
wonder.
special. And
I wonder why.
yeah, they can see and hear us both. Hello,
Hi,
darlings. Shawnee here in
darling.
Australia. And Ria, say something where you are and stuff.
So I am tuning in from the very grey city of Manchester in the UK, and it's 9 a.m. here, so it's very, very early to be doing cheeky things with Seani Love. But I am ready. I'm alive, and it's really nice to be here.
Fantastic. It's 8 p.m. here in Australia. There's an 11-hour time difference because of how the different clocks go backwards and forwards. And yeah, I was just saying, Ria, I just want to spend the next few months interviewing and highlighting some of the amazing people I've worked with, including your good self. Yeah. So, sex positive superheroes is the name, and yeah, the idea of spreading sex positivity around the world in a kind of where it's most needed
Mm,
has been a big part of both of our work for the past many, many years.
yeah.
So I think we'll just I'm waving to all the people.
Mm.
If we share this video later, we can edit out me talking about waving to the people. But I'm just celebrating seeing all the lovely faces there. Um, Ria, let's start at the beginning. Tell us something you're working on these days.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I am a conscious kink practitioner. I also am a intimacy educator, and I work with sexual energy and energy work. So yeah, I've been away for 8 months, traveling around Central America and Europe, basically just having a bit of a break and like eating lots of fruit and getting my titties out on the beach, which has
Titties.
been titties which has been
Yay.
much needed. I really needed a bit of some spaciousness to reconnect with myself. So I'm back in the UK now, and I got lots of. Honestly, the UK is very like pew 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 for me. So I've got lots of things on already. Been running sensual sauna events in London, which with my dear colleague AJ, which have been really beautiful, very, very precious. And also I'm starting reigniting my private sessions again and rebuilding a base here back in the UK really for conscious kink sessions and things like that.
Fantastic. Oh, and so you got saunas and private sessions. What happens in one of the saunas?
The saunas are very, very beautiful. It's non-sexual, but very sensual. And AJ England, obviously, you've seen it, Seani. She has a whole like spa in her back garden. There's a plunge pool and a sauna and a hot tub. And we basically just sprinkle magic throughout the evening. Lots of little games for connection. Like we have a little bell that we ring. It's very like cheeky, cheeky pixie energy.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
I guess with some post editing, the clever people can like put pictures of the sauna up on the screen. We'll think about that another time. Yeah, I've worked closely with both of you, AJ and yourself, and it's been one of my highlights of my career. We did that training together. We did that course together, Getting Conscious with Kink, in
And we spent
the peak.
3 days.
Yes. 3 days playing and spanking and arousing each other at the Peacock Parlour in Camden. I think the Peacock Parlour has its own page, so everyone should book that for your private play and sessions. I really want to big up your work. So you're doing conscious kink sessions.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you about a recent conscious kink session. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
No
I do
names,
have consent.
of course.
Yeah, no, I actually
Yeah, what?
have consent to share this one, so that's great.
Go ahead.
I worked with a client recently, actually. I mean, people come to me for all sorts of different things, and I seem to attract a clientele that's very queer, usually like femme or AFAB, people in female bodies who come to me for sessions. I really don't get many men, which is like, come to me, men, I am ready for you. But this was a AFAB non-binary person. AFAB, for anybody watching that doesn't know, means assigned female at birth. Non-binary person. And they'd had a brain injury a couple of years back, which meant that they had forgotten how to relate to their sexual desires. And they basically had memory loss of how to date and how to like be present with their body and their own sense of sexuality. And we went on a very, very beautiful journey from them being very, very, very shy at the start and very insular and not connected to their body or their desires, and sort of there was definitely some feelings of shame around expressing their needs. And we went on this very beautiful journey where at the end they were like having lots of kinky sex, lots of relationships that were really fulfilling them, were really powerful in asking for what they wanted and needed. We were using the systems, the traffic light systems, and the tools that we learn in the training, Seani, in the Shadow Tantra practitioner training, to help the communication, be really strong between us, so that in the moment they were able to ask for what they wanted, they were able to stop and pause, and we were able to have this very juicy, very deep experience together with lots of spanking and lots of power play, and it was very powerful.
Fantastic. That sounds so wonderful. Helping people find the tools to communicate and ask for what they want, just is such a huge milestone, and amazing that you've achieved that. And are you still in touch with that person?
Yes, yeah, very much so, yeah.
And all is good?
All is great, yeah. Yeah, still having beautiful
Fantastic.
relationships with people, so that's the best thing, really. I think the thing with
Amazing.
conscious kink is you're using skills, you're learning skills that you can take out into your life and use in every relationship and interaction that you have. It's a really beautiful format for building connection.
Yeah, indeed. It can extenuate into all aspects of life. I agree with that. You mentioned the Shadow Tantra training, and I'm not doing any until May or June when I get back to Europe. So for the next, but can you tell me, when did you do the Shadow Tantra training?
I'm not actually sure. 2020? 2021?
During the pandemic? Dun, dun, dun.
Guess not then. It was just after
Maybe
the
we did a
pandemic,
few
wasn't
things
it?
then. We did a few things then.
Yeah.
With masks on. I remember standing outside teaching from outside the room because there was a COVID scare with one of my teaching partners. I don't know if you're at that one. That's a side tangent. We can edit that out there, I promise. Since working in the field, have you made back the money that you spent on the training?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, conscious kink, I think it's a very needed and necessary aspect of therapy that isn't of therapeutic practices that aren't really being they're not, you know, widely known yet. And I think that there's a real desire for people to have access to a healing modality that is more hands-on, that is more yeah, with the body, with the mind, with the soul, but actually getting to practice and use those things in real life and get to be shown how they actually work. I think there's a really beautiful aspect of conscious kink. So yeah, very high demand for them.
Fantastic. Yeah, I found the same thing. All aspects from communicating around consent boundaries through to just learning how to receive touch, how to give touch that's non-intrusive, how to hold space for people's emotions. All of this
Mm.
stuff is really essential. At the moment, I'm not running any big trainings, but for people who have done trainings with me or other amazing teachers, I'm doing mentoring. So if anyone's watching this who is interested in taking their practice to the next level, please get in touch because maybe I can help you. But as I say, that's for people who have extensive experience already who would love to become sexuality practitioners. Ria, you still there?
Yes, darling, I'm still here.
It's
I can't
it's
believe
weird
you
I
can't
can't
see me.
it's weird I can't see you.
I
Yeah, I
know.
hope they don't like close our accounts down talking about sex and. Can you see me?
I can see you, yeah. You're looking also delicious.
Well, thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. Um, what do you think is new? Let's talk about what is happening in the world of sexuality, in the world of conscious sexuality. What's changing in the world?
Yeah. I mean, I think most people can agree, especially if you've got your foot in this world at all, that there's been a huge increase of people who are interested in offering this work. There's so many different types of trainings and courses you can do now that support you in becoming a sexuality practitioner. I think that's amazing. I think that it's great that more people are talking about it and that there's more access to materials and conversations around sexuality. I think for myself as a practitioner, that's meant that I've needed to become more aware of what's needed still. Even though there's been a huge boom, like we're not there, we're not all a fully sexually liberated society yet. So it's like, what do we still need? And I think that that is like more simple, accessible, inclusive spaces just to have a chat with other people about sexuality, where there's that format of conversing that can happen that's not like crazy intense techniques or, you know, big processes. While that's like really valuable as well to people who are a bit more experienced, I think that we're still in need of those really simple spaces to talk about sexuality.
Yeah, fantastic. I'll totally agree with that. I think the more conversations we have about sex and sexuality, the more empowered we can be, the less
Mm,
chance we have of making mistakes, especially with consent and boundaries. I
mm,
guess there's also some historic roles, like gender roles, that in many ways are unhealthy. And by having good conversations, we can deconstruct those. So, yeah, fully in alignment with you on that one. Is there any favorite technique or idea or something that you might share with people who are watching that they might want to practice or contemplate?
mm. Yeah, good question. I feel like for anybody who's on a genuine sexuality and for yeah, embarking on this reconnection, I guess, with this part of ourselves, our sexuality and our genitals and our desire and our pleasure. The main thing that I always suggest to people is like really getting to know your body again, like having this deeper understanding of you as an embodied creature and having practices that tune you into that. So just taking time every day to be like, hey, what's my body feeling today? And are there any sensations that might want to be explored? And also following the pleasure, like where do I get pleasure in my life? How can I make my life more pleasurable? And finding the more that you go into that practice, the more subtle the pleasure becomes, the easier it is to access that sense of yumminess, of bodily yumminess, of of you know, that sensation of like, what do I need? What do I want? And the more we know that within ourselves, the more we can take that to other people and create that dynamic with someone else of asking for what we want and being able to receive.
That feels very amazing. And I'm full alignment with you. Yeah, communication, listening to the body, giving the self pleasure. Pleasure itself can be very healing. There's all sort of
Mm.
body chemicals, which I'm going to now, just but the very active pleasure is good. Because sometimes a debauched pleasure, sometimes a sacred pleasure, and just yeah, always enjoying the pleasure of the body for our own emotional and mental well-being.
And I think this is why I
Um,
also love Conscious Kink so much because it's so playful. It's like while it can be incredibly deep and emotional, it's also like fun and playful, and you get to access different parts of yourself and try them on and like have a little bit of a laugh. And like if it's a bit messy or fumbly, then that's welcome. And I really feel like this returning to sex and sexuality as a playground is something that everybody could really benefit from.
Yay. So more play in life, more play in the bedroom, more play in general. That sounds really
Absolutely.
healthy and good. So, what's next for you in life?
Well, I mean, as you probably know, working with sexual energy is very powerful. I
Hmm.
started doing this work within my community when I was only 22, which is crazy. So I've needed to take a lot of time away to learn for myself. And after a big break, I've just been away for 8 months. I'm really feeling like a deepening is happening in my relationship with my work. And I think the bringing in of the pause is a very important part of the creative cycle that I think often people miss out on, or don't have the time to do. And for me now, I feel like I'm returning fresh. So I'm rebuilding again. I'm rebuilding my ethos, my my um my approach, the way I'm wanting to do this work, what's still needed, and how can I be of service really to this emerging field that's expanding so rapidly. I want to be part of it.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds beautiful. And one thing you said that I really resonate with is active service. How something
Mm.
so for me is so powerful and potent can be used in acts of
Mm.
service. I feel like a very masculine, very powerful masculine creature. And I think that's often people are scared of that, but using that in acts of service is hugely rewarding for me and for the world. So full power to you on your own version of that. And let's keep in touch, as we no doubt we will, and let people here know what's going on with you in your life, and people can see your name there, so they can click on the follow button.
Yes,
And
please do follow my page and see what I'm up to. Got lots of Instagram keeps taking down the pictures of my ass cheeks, but I am not having it.
oh dear,
um, I know why. Leave my little
that is
peaches
such a
alone.
good ass. That's such a good peach,
um,
and we need more of it in this world. We're not
yeah,
allowed to advertise
exactly.
sessions directly on Instagram. We're not allowed to promote our private sessions, but we are allowed to talk about what we do. So, is there anything else you'd like to add about what you offer?
Yeah, just like if anybody's feeling the call to work with sexuality on a holistic level, like from the mind, the body, and the soul, I'd really love to hear from you, especially anybody who's really new to this world, who's new to exploring sexuality. I really like working with the newbies, and helping people take those first steps, and also with the experienced kinksters as well. But yeah, there's a special place in my heart for the people who are starting this journey for the first time. So if you're wanting to get in touch, or you like just a little hee hee that I'm offering, please do message me.
Do. I highly recommend Ria's work. Okay, Ria, thanks so much for joining me.
Yes,
Our
darling.
international conversations, and no doubt we'll see each other soon and have another conversation soon. Thank you, and thanks for everyone who's tuned in and watched.
Mm.
Um, I didn't reach out for questions.
Oh
We've probably
yeah.
seen a few. I haven't seen if there's any questions in the box there. So if one appears in the next 12 seconds, we'll answer it. Otherwise, we get to sign off, and I'll put an edited version of this up on the website soon enough. All right, darlings.
All right,
Thank you
darling.
so much for
Bye,
watching.
Shawnee.
Bye, darling. Bye. Bye, everyone. Had you end the thing? There's no anything. Is that anything?